It's not by chance that you're viewing this video. There's a reason you're here. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the timing of your life and know that you're being led to where you're meant to be. As you stumble on this video, perhaps not by chance, it will serve to awaken your spirit. You may have noticed something unusual happening around you lately. The way people look at you, the way conversations suddenly fall silent when you enter a room, or the strange tension that lingers in certain atmospheres where your presence is undeniable. Perhaps you've questioned in your heart why individuals who openly claim to dislike you, who have made it clear that they are against you, still keep their eyes fixed on you. They observe your every move, and even though they try to diminish your light, they cannot resist being drawn back to it. Let me speak the truth plainly. Your enemies are secretly fascinated, even obsessed with the light you carry. Yes, the very ones who whisper against you in the shadows, the very ones who sought to sabotage your path, and the very ones who act indifferent to your progress. They are silently studying you. Their curiosity is not rooted in love, admiration, or support. Instead, it comes from a deep awareness that your light reveals the truth of who they are not. Your glow exposes the lack within them. Your anointing reminds them of everything they wish they could be but cannot become without divine favor. What you are about to hear in this message is not ordinary information, it is divine revelation. This video has been carefully designed to unveil 7 powerful chapters that will explain why your enemies cannot ignore you. But before we begin this journey, I urge you to like, share, and subscribe, not for numbers, but as an act of alignment. Because this message is not entertainment, it is confirmation. It is a prophetic sign for the chosen ones whose light is unstoppable, uncontainable, and undeniable. And here is the test of your spirit. If you can sense this message resonating with the deepest parts of your soul, type the number 77 in the comments right now. Understand, that number is not random. It is a sacred code, a spiritual signal to the Most High and the universe itself. It declares that you are walking in alignment, shining with divine illumination, and moving with holy boldness. Only those who are truly chosen will feel this pull, because only those set apart can recognize the weight of the message being spoken. Know this. This video is not something you listen to once and forget. No, this message is a spiritual mirror, a reflection for your soul. It is layered with divine truths that will reveal themselves to you over time. Every moment you return to it, your spirit will unlock new revelations, new insights, and hidden wisdom that God has reserved for you alone. So prepare yourself, chosen one. Prepare your heart and your mind, for what is about to be revealed will give you clarity, awareness, and undeniable confirmation about why your enemies cannot leave you alone, why they are secretly obsessed with your presence, and why your light will always shine too brightly for them to ignore. Now let us begin. Chapter 1. Your light exposes the hidden shadows. Chosen one, let this truth settle deep within your spirit. The light you carry is not something superficial, temporary, or man-made. It is not simply a mood, a personality trait, or a passing energy that depends on circumstances. No, your light is a spiritual frequency, an eternal vibration flowing directly from your soul, not from the surface of your personality. It is not measured by how loudly you speak, how much attention you receive, or how much recognition people give you. Rather, it is the undeniable reflection of everything you have endured, everything you have surrendered, and everything you have faithfully trusted God with. This light was not cheaply given to you, nor was it casually attained. It was forged in the furnace of betrayal, refined in the silence of rejection, and strengthened in seasons where you stood completely alone. It is the holy afterglow of obedience, the evidence that you chose faith when fear was easier, that you trusted divine timing when impatience was tempting, and that you continued walking when the weight of your trials could have buried you. This light, radiant and authentic, is spiritual proof that you walked through battles others never saw and came out not bitter but burning with the fire of heaven. Understand this, not everyone will rejoice at the sight of your glow. Some will be unsettled, irritated, even angered, not because you have wronged them, but because your light acts as a divine mirror. Wherever you go, you carry revelation, and your presence alone exposes what others have worked so hard to keep hidden. When you walk into a room, you don't have to boast, announce yourself, or demand recognition. The very atmosphere shifts because of what rests upon you. Your peace reveals the inner chaos that others have been suppressing. Your healing quietly reminds them of the wounds they still carry, but refuse to face. Your authenticity becomes a weight that makes the mask they wear feel heavier than ever before. You do not even need to speak, for the light on your life speaks louder than words. You, chosen one, are living evidence that God's power is real and that truth unsettles those who are still bound by darkness. This is why some stare, some whisper, and some resist your presence. It is not truly you they are resisting. It is the divine light within you that unmasks what they would rather keep hidden. And that is why your existence alone carries power. There will inevitably come moments in your life when the people around you begin to treat you in ways that may seem unusual, cold, or distant. They may whisper among themselves that you have changed, but the truth is far greater. You have not simply changed, you have grown. You have elevated yourself to a higher state of awareness, healing, and maturity, a level they may not yet be willing to reach, nor courageous enough to pursue. Instead of choosing growth for themselves, they may resort to criticism, because it is often easier to attack what they cannot comprehend than to transform what lies within them. Understand that many people have become so accustomed to existing in negativity that it feels like home to them. They have adapted to cycles of gossip, drama, chaos, insecurity, and fear. For so long, they have adjusted to the shadows that when genuine light appears before them, light that is authentic, healed, grounded, and aligned, it disrupts their comfort. Your very presence unsettles them because your transformation exposes the truths they would rather avoid. But hear me clearly. You have done nothing wrong. You simply became the version of yourself they never anticipated. You are not condemning them. You are not judging them. You are simply walking fully in the light you paid for through trials, suffering, healing, and growth. If they truly knew the full story of what it cost you to arrive here, they would respect the glow radiating from your soul rather than resenting it. Yet pride keeps them from admitting what they see. Ego prevents them from seeking the healing they too need. So instead, they whisper behind closed doors. They form small cliques. They attempt to throw shade, hoping in vain to dim the light that was divinely placed within you. But chosen one, understand this. What God Himself has ignited within you, no person on earth has the power to extinguish. What heaven planted in your spirit cannot be stolen, cannot be destroyed, and cannot be undone by the envy or opposition of others. Your light was never meant as a performance, nor was it given to you for empty display. Your light carries divine purpose. It was entrusted to you for impact, for healing, for alignment with the will of God. So do not dim your brilliance in an attempt to make others comfortable. That is not humility, it is self-abandonment. And you have journeyed far too long, endured far too much, and sacrificed far too deeply to now shrink yourself back into the shadows. You were not placed on this earth to boast or to flaunt, but to shine as a living testimony of what is possible when perseverance, faith, and divine grace meet. Therefore, when others act differently toward you, when they become distant, resentful, or critical, do not take their reactions personally. Their behavior is not truly about you. It is about what your light is revealing inside of them. They are not ready to face their own truth, not yet. And that is perfectly all right, because it is not your responsibility to heal them, fix them, or convince them. Your assignment is simply to continue glowing, to continue healing, to continue walking in alignment with truth. Your light itself is a revelation, and while it may make some uncomfortable, it will also become the spark that pushes others toward their own awakening. Do not underestimate this power. The forces of darkness do not fear noise, gossip, or words. They fear light. And you, chosen one, are undeniable proof that light still shines, light still heals, and light still wins. Chapter 2. They silent observers of your light. Chosen one, allow this truth to rest deeply within your spirit. Whether they openly acknowledge it or not, they see you. Even when they pretend as though you are invisible, Even when they act as if your presence is insignificant, they are watching. They may scroll past your posts without leaving a single like. They may never comment on your words or acknowledge your victories. They may even behave as though you do not exist when you stand before them. Yet behind the curtain of their silence, behind the facade of indifference, they observe you carefully, quietly, almost obsessively, like shadows lingering just outside the circle of your light. They notice everything. They notice the way you walk with unwavering confidence even after surviving storms that should have left you broken. They notice the way your energy remains calm, grounded and unshaken, while those around you crumble under pressure. They notice the way you radiate peace in the very midst of chaos, a glow that cannot be manufactured or imitated. They notice the way you rise unapologetically, without waiting for approval, permission, or validation from anyone. And though they may never admit it aloud, these things confuse them. These things frustrate them. Your resilience unsettles their expectations, yet they cannot turn away. Something about you demands their attention, and so they continue watching. To them, you are no longer merely a person. You have become a living mystery, a question they cannot answer, a riddle they cannot solve, a chapter in a sacred text they are desperate to decode. They study you in silence. They long to understand how you continue moving forward after betrayal. They wonder how you manage to remain kind, compassionate, and gracious even after being mistreated. They wrestle with the puzzle of how you continue to evolve, to grow, to expand, even after they and others did everything in their power to break you. What you may not even realize is that your very life has become a blueprint, not merely a blueprint for growth, but a manual for survival itself. They remember when you were at your lowest point. They witnessed your seasons of weakness, despair, and suffering, and many assumed that version of you would be permanent. They thought your downfall would be your final chapter, but they were wrong, because now they see you walking in strength. They see you glowing with wisdom born from pain. They see you standing in alignment with divine purpose, unshaken and unwavering. And this unsettles them to the core. Why? Because the version of you they tried so hard to destroy, the version they thought would never recover, has now become the version that inspires them the most. Even if they never summon the courage to admit it openly, know this truth: they are watching your every move. Their gaze does not come from a place of celebration or genuine support, but rather from a desire to analyze you, to dissect the reasons behind your glow, to decode the mystery of your resilience. They observe in silence, hoping to unravel the secret that sustains your strength. They attempt to imitate you. They echo your words. They mirror your style. They adopt your cadence, your rhythm, your outward expression. But what they fail to realize is that what you carry within yourself cannot be copied, for it was never something that could be simply learned. It was something that had to be earned. It was earned through the long nights of prayer when no one saw you weeping. It was earned through the weight of pain you carried and survived. It was earned through persistence in the face of opposition, through your willingness to pursue purpose when others would have quit. What they covet is not the surface they see. It is the inner fire that fuels it all, and that fire cannot be duplicated. Yes, they may dress in the same clothes, adopt the same language, and even attempt to move in ways that resemble your walk. But no matter how close their imitation appears, it will always fall short. Why? Because they lack the spirit that breathes life into all of it. They desire the fruit, but are unwilling to endure the soil, the labor, and the storms that produced it. Your light was not built in the comfort of ease. It was forged in the heat of warfare. Your peace was not handed to you. It was fought for and secured in silent battles no one else witnessed. Your growth did not unfold by coincidence. It was the outcome of obedience to divine instruction, of surrender to God's will, and of favor that could never be manufactured. And this chosen one is the truth that unsettles them the most. It is not your appearance, not your talent, not your eloquence, nor even your accomplishments that haunt them. What disturbs them is your spirit. It is the undeniable reality that no matter how meticulously they attempt to replicate your moves, they will never replicate your anointing. That is what sets you apart. That is what they study in secret. That is what stirs envy within them. They scroll through your feed, scanning for cracks in your armor. They replay your videos, listening for flaws. They analyze your words, hoping to uncover something to discredit or criticize. But beneath all their watching, there is something deeper. They are searching for truth. They are desperate to find a way to tap into what you have. Yet they desire it without enduring what you endured, without walking the path of surrender that birthed it. But you, chosen one, must remember this eternal truth. Your glow does not come from man, nor from the world. It comes from God. Your path is divinely ordained, and your protection is secured by heaven itself. No imitation, no mimicry, no act of performance can unlock the doors that only obedience, authenticity, and divine favor can open. So let them study you. Let them attempt to mimic you. Let them replay and rehearse your every move. For in the end, they will discover this. They can copy the appearance, but they can never carry the anointing. They can try to mirror the surface, but they will never possess the spirit. Because you, chosen one, are not built from the outside in. You are built from the spirit outward, and that foundation is unshakable. Chapter 3. Your transformation reveals true intentions. Chosen one, let us speak plainly and with absolute truth. Your growth, your progress, and your elevation are not simply surprising the people around you. They are exposing them. Your journey upward has not only caught the attention of your enemies, but has also unsettled the very foundation of their comfort. For many of them never expected you to rise. In fact, they built their assumptions and expectations around the idea that you would remain in pain, bound by silence and paralyzed by self-doubt. They were secure when you were broken. They were at ease when you were questioning your worth. They were unthreatened when you were still searching for yourself in the shadows. That version of you was predictable, manageable, and easy for them to overlook. But that version no longer exists. You are not who you once were. Your healing has disrupted their illusion. Your elevation has dismantled their false sense of superiority. You have become, without even trying, a living disruption to their delusions. And every time you ascend to another level, whether that level be spiritual strength, mental clarity, emotional maturity, or even financial stability, it ignites a trigger deep within them. Why? Because your glow-up is undeniable. Your transformation is undeniable. It cannot be ignored, explained away, or diminished by their words. Each new dimension you step into becomes a mirror that reflects what they themselves have neglected, avoided, or flat out refused to face. You are no longer the wounded soul they once underestimated. You are no longer the silenced version they once thought they could control. Now you walk with purpose. You speak with clarity. You carry authority. And this shift unsettles them because it forces them to look inward at their own stagnation. Understand this. They do not truly despise your success for its own sake. What they resent is what your success represents to them. Your evolution reminds them of their procrastination. Your discipline highlights their inconsistency. Your courage calls out their fear. Your willingness to grow reveals their refusal to change. Instead of rising with you, instead of using your transformation as inspiration for their own, they choose the easier path. Resentment. They cannot celebrate you because to celebrate you would be to confront their own lack of progress. So they retreat to criticism. They choose whispers instead of applause. They allow jealousy to replace encouragement. But chosen one, know this. Their inability to celebrate your elevation is not your burden to carry. It is a reflection of their own chains. Your growth is not an accident. It is the fruit of your prayers, the result of your obedience, and the evidence of God's hand upon your life. So never apologize for outgrowing the version of you that kept others comfortable. Never dim your light to make their stagnation easier to bear. Remember this. Your growth is not only your testimony, it is their mirror. And while mirrors may make some uncomfortable, they also invite transformation. Whether they choose to change is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to keep growing, keep rising, and keep walking boldly in the purpose you were created for. Let's speak with honesty and clarity, chosen one. The growth you have experienced has shattered the illusion of control that certain people once believed they had over your life. In the seasons when you were struggling, When you were wounded and weighed down, they felt powerful. They found comfort in pitying you, manipulating your vulnerability, and maintaining a sense of superiority over your brokenness. Your pain gave them a false sense of elevation. But now that you have healed, now that you have reclaimed both your voice and your vision, they can no longer access you with the same tactics. You have risen above their reach. Understand this. Your unreachability is not rooted in arrogance, but in elevation. You have matured, expanded, and stepped into a version of yourself they never prepared to encounter. This new version of you sets boundaries unapologetically. This new version of you speaks truth without trembling. This new version of you moves forward without pausing for permission or waiting for approval. And that very shift unsettles them, because the methods they once used to keep you small no longer apply to the person you have become. Your progress, then, is not merely a personal victory. It is a living, breathing testimony. It is a mirror reflecting the truth of what becomes possible when someone refuses to remain broken, refuses to remain silent, and refuses to remain bound. That reflection, however, is unbearable for those still hiding from their own potential, because your breakthrough reveals the excuses they cling to. Whether or not they speak it aloud, your very presence now changes atmospheres. When you step into a room, your energy announces your breakthrough before your lips even part. Your peace radiates like a shield of fire. Your confidence commands respect without you demanding it. You are no longer pleading to be noticed or validated. You are walking in the full awareness of your divine identity. And even if they never clap for you, they still feel the weight of who you have become. You must remember this. You were never destined to remain in the place where they abandoned you. The pain they thought would destroy you was not the conclusion of your story. It was the very foundation upon which God built your restoration. Your elevation, your glow up, your transformation was written into your destiny from the very beginning, signed, sealed, and pre-approved by the Most High. They might have assumed your downfall was permanent, but heaven had already authored a greater narrative, one of redemption, restoration, and divine acceleration. So when you notice their distance, when they turn cold, or when they throw shade in an attempt to diminish your shine, do not shrink back. Do not question the authenticity of your growth. Their reaction is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reaction to the uncomfortable truth of who they refuse to become. Your evolution is holy, your transformation is sacred, and your journey is deeply personal. It was never meant for the applause of the crowd, and it certainly was not designed for their approval. Chosen one, your growth was not to impress them, it was to align you with your divine purpose. You did not evolve to prove a point. You evolved because heaven called you higher. And every step you now take, every truth you now walk in, is a living response to the call of destiny that rests upon your life. Chapter 4. Your calling eliminates all competition. They do not compare. Chosen one, let this truth rest firmly in the depths of your soul. What you carry within you is not a competition, it is a sacred calling. There is an eternal difference between the two, for competition is birthed from comparison, ego, and the desire to prove oneself. But a calling is heaven-ordained, hand-selected by the Most High, and divinely tailored to the uniqueness of your soul and the unfolding of your life story. That is why no matter how hard others may strive, no matter how much they may imitate or attempt to replicate, they can never truly compete with you, because you were never designed to fit into the molds of comparison. You were not created to blend into the crowd. You were divinely crafted to stand apart. And when you step boldly into that truth, when you walk fully in the mantle placed upon your life, your very existence becomes unsettling to those still chained to the illusion of rivalry. The reality is this: your enemies, your silent critics, the individuals who disguise their envy behind indifference, are constantly measuring themselves against you, even while you are not concerned with their presence nor distracted by their gaze. You are not in their race, nor are you chasing their prizes. You are not motivated by applause, validation, or temporary approval. Instead, you are guided by divine instruction, led by heavenly timing, and carried by eternal purpose. You move with intentionality, you shine with authenticity, and this is why they cannot fully grasp you, nor will they ever understand the essence of who you are. You are walking by faith while they are still stumbling in fear. You are building a life from the place of wholeness and healing while they continue to construct their image out of unresolved wounds. You are quietly doing the inner work, praying, growing, surrendering, and aligning, while they are exhausting themselves with performance and pretense. This is why, although they watch you with an envious eye and secretly attempt to mimic your steps, they cannot keep pace with you. For what they lack is not skill or style, it is substance. They are missing the spiritual depth, the divine oil, the heavenly fire that fuels your glow. And that, chosen one, is why you must never shrink into the shadows or lower your standard to soothe their discomfort. Your light is not a challenge to their worth. It is simply evidence of your calling. And where there is no true comparison, there can never be competition. Your glow is not about your appearance. It comes from the fire within you, the favor you walk in, and the anointing on your life. No one can copy it, no matter how much they try to study you, steal from you, or sabotage you. You did not create this light yourself. It was placed on you. You did not chase the spotlight. You were called to it. And because of that, you are protected in ways others cannot understand. People may try to compete with your calling, but they were not given your mission. They were not built for your journey. They do not carry the weight of your battles. You bought your peace with pain. You gained your wisdom through silence, sacrifice, and surrender. So when they try to copy your energy without living your journey, they become frustrated and obsessed. They gossip about you. They throw shade. They downplay your rise. But deep inside, they are fascinated. They wish they could move like you, speak like you, and shine like you. Their pride stops them from admitting that your confidence comes from a place they have never entered, the throne room of God. Your strength did not come from people. It came from God's presence. That truth humbles them. They can copy your outer image, but they cannot copy your inner oil. Oil comes through crushing. Grace comes through breaking. Authority comes through obedience. That is why your presence feels different. You are not performing, you are aligned. So stop wasting time explaining yourself to people who will never understand you. Do not try to prove your worth in places you have already outgrown. You were chosen to lead, not to compete. You were called to stand apart, not to blend in. Let them talk. Let them watch. Let them pretend not to care. You are not in the same lane. They are running in circles. You are walking in purpose. They are chasing attention. You are moving in divine assignment. Chapter 5. Your light reveals hidden truths. Chosen one, understand this fully. Your presence is like a mirror. You reflect back to people the truth they have hidden, the pain they avoid, and the potential they ignore. Not everyone is ready to see themselves clearly. That is why your energy can make them uncomfortable. That is why you may upset people just by being yourself. You don't have to say anything. Your being speaks for you. Your peace exposes their chaos. Your clarity reveals their confusion. Your joy shows their bitterness. Your boldness exposes their fear. Your authenticity breaks the mask they wear. You are a living reflection of truth, and truth always demands a response. People aren't just fascinated by your light. They are convicted by it. They watch you move with grace and wonder how you survived so much. They see your strength and wonder how you remain standing. You remind them of the person they once were, the one who hoped, dreamed, and believed. You show them what is possible when someone chooses healing over hiding, faith over fear, and purpose over comfort. But many respond with envy instead of inspiration. Instead of looking inward, they try to dim your light from the outside. Why? Because it is easier to criticize the mirror than to face themselves. It is easier to attack you than to admit how they have settled, compromised, or lost their own way. They observe your growth and feel the weight of their own regrets. They notice your confidence and feel diminished in comparison. Yet none of this is your fault, for you did not choose this path to make anyone else uncomfortable. You chose it because your soul demanded truth, because your spirit required healing, and because your heart insisted on evolution and becoming everything God intended for you to be. In the process, without even intending to, You became a silent mirror reflecting back to others the versions of themselves they have neglected, abandoned, or refused to recognize. And what they refuse to admit, what they hide behind their criticisms, their envy, and their narratives, is that deep down, they wish they possessed the courage you display. They wish they had the resilience you embody. They longed for the clarity, the consistency, and the spiritual strength that you carry. Yet pride and fear keep them from acknowledging it. Instead, they fabricate reasons to distance themselves from you, labeling you as too much, too different, or too distant. Not because you are wrong, but because your presence exposes their refusal to live fully in their own truth. Chosen one, you must not shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable. You must not dim the mirror of your life to preserve fragile illusions. You were not sent to blend into mediocrity. You were sent to reveal what is possible. And sometimes your greatest influence will not come from your words, but from the life you lead and the freedom you embody. Your healed presence speaks volumes to the souls still trapped in pain. Your liberation becomes a call to those still confined by fear and doubt. You are not the problem. You are the reminder, the living proof that brokenness is not permanent, that truth exists, and that God is still in the business of transforming lives. Those who are ready will see your life as a sign, an invitation to begin their own healing and step into their purpose. Those who are unprepared will resist, retreat, and perhaps even resent you. But that is not your burden to carry. Your responsibility is to remain in your calling, to walk boldly in your freedom, and to continue reflecting the light and restoration that God has placed within you. Chapter 6. They draw strength from your light. Chosen one, have you noticed people who say they don't like you still stay near you? They talk about you, watch what you do, scroll through your pages, and follow your progress. They don't show love, but they are drawn to your energy. It's not random, it's spiritual. You are more than just a person to them. You are a source, a spiritual generator. Your anointing stirs things in the unseen. Your energy is magnetic, even to those who don't understand or deserve it. You light up rooms without trying. You change the atmosphere just by being there. Even your enemies feel your frequency. Whether they admit it or not, they are drawn to your vibration because it stirs something inside them. They don't like you, but they need you. In a parasitic way, not a healthy way. They feed off your glow. Your peace irritates their chaos, but also gives them relief. Your confidence stirs their insecurity, but they mimic it anyway. Your presence convicts them, yet it also makes them feel alive, even if they are jealous. Some people don't want healing. They want hooks. They stay close to drain, watch, and take from your energy without honoring it. They pretend envy is praise. They call it support, but it's really surveillance. They clap with hollow hands. Their words may sound sweet, but their spirit is bitter. Be careful not to mistake their fascination for favor and keep giving to those who only want to consume. Here's what you need to know. Some people are addicted to your consistency. The way you keep showing up, shining, and growing fascinates them. Even when they act like they've moved on, they still think about you. You've become the standard they measure themselves against, even when they pretend not to care. That's why you must protect your energy. It is sacred. You've fought too many battles to let anyone drain what took years to build. Your peace is priceless. Your joy is earned. Your fire is divine. Not everyone deserves access. Some spiritual parasites aren't obvious. Some smile. Some sit in the front row. Some repost your wins but secretly hope you fail. They watch your every move to compete, compare, or confuse. But they cannot steal what is in you. They can only distract you long enough to make you doubt yourself. Chosen one, your spirit is a light. You don't just inspire, you ignite. You don't just enter rooms, you elevate them. Whether people say it or not, you change things. That's why they keep coming back. Even in silence, your soul is loud. Be careful where you give your energy. Not everyone deserves it. You don't owe anyone your frequency just because they are fascinated by it. Ask yourself, are they feeding you or feeding off you? One lifts you up, the other drains you. One gives clarity, the other creates confusion. One acts in love, the other hides selfish motives. Your discernment protects you. Chapter 7. The obsession that others harbor toward you is not a mere coincidence, but a profound confirmation of your divine purpose. And chosen one, you must hear this with clarity and conviction. If no one were speaking of you, it would signify that your presence fails to stir the energy of the room, and if no one felt envy toward you, it would mean that you are not carrying a force that is potent and transformative. Yet when you walk in the fullness of your God-given purpose, you inevitably move spirits, provoke insecurity, awaken jealousy, and disrupt the comfort zones of those around you simply by existing. The intense focus, mimicry, criticism, and persistent observation of your enemies is not an arbitrary reaction, but a revelation of your weight in the spiritual realm. For they sense your calling even in moments when they cannot comprehend it. They feel the force of your presence before you speak a word, and they watch your life unfold as if it were a prophecy manifesting in real time, unable to avert their gaze. And even when they pretend blindness, they cannot deny the glow of your authenticity or the palpable shift in energy that occurs whenever you enter a space. Their fixation is not an indictment of your missteps, but rather irrefutable evidence that you are executing precisely the mission for which you were created: to stand out, to be set apart, to embody truth, and to carry a power that cannot be purchased, taught, or replicated. For chosen one, your existence is not simply an entry into timelines or spaces. It is an entrance into assignments that are divinely orchestrated, where your words move the unseen, your actions disrupt the superficial, and your authenticity exposes the facades of those who attempt to conceal their lack. This is why they talk, why they mock, why they feel compelled to mention your name even when you have remained silent. For their obsession is an unmistakable proclamation of the anointing upon your life. You do not require applause or external validation, for their constant scrutiny, imitation, and attempts at distraction already attest to your significance. And you must not allow gossip, silence, or imitation to destabilize your confidence. For you are the blueprint, never meant to blend in, and your journey itself testifies to that truth. The very individuals who once dismissed or counted you out now monitor your every move, quietly anticipating a misstep while secretly studying the strength that they cannot replicate. And though they may never admit it, they know that you have already triumphed, which is why their obsession is so intense. It is never about mere popularity, but about recognizing the power and divinity that you carry in every fiber of your being, a force eternal, nameless yet undeniable, which resonates in their very bones, manifests in your silence, and confirms that you are not ordinary, that your light was never negotiable, that it was meticulously designed by the Most High, refined through fire and trials, wrapped in grace, and set apart to illuminate a world that struggles to comprehend its brilliance. And if you're still hungry for more chapters to this journey, or a visual concept for a video or thumbnail, just say the word. I'm here and ready to help bring it all to life. Thanks for watching. Here ends this video. Take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. If you find this video interesting,